News and updates constantly coming your way with Manchester United in this transfer window, and here on FUTV Night TV we've got another one courtesy of Fabrizio Romano. He is a very, very busy man, particularly with Manchester United at the moment, and the update comes in the form of Alejandro Garnacho. Also got Mbeumo updates, Victor Gyökeres updates, Jadon Sancho updates as well to get through in this show, and another message from Manchester United's board to Ruben Amorim and what is actually going on this summer. So all of that to come, along with your live chats. We are slightly earlier today with the show. We will be back later on if there is anything significant to break. Of course, England are playing this afternoon, which coincides with our normal slot. So wanted to have a check out, watch a little bit of football later as well. So bringing this news now, and then obviously if there's anything extra comes about, we will have more for you later on this evening also. Welcome along, everybody. Hope your Saturday's going well. Mine's not too bad. Rocking another shirt from our OK Jerseys kit partner. If you like this one, just get into the comments section and ask. I'll have all the details, or you can just check it out on the link in the description anyway. It's all there for you to see. But yeah, let's get into what news is actually going on then and what's happening with Garnacho. Now, we all know from David Ornstein breaking the news a couple of weeks ago after the season finished that Ruben Amorim stormed into Carrington, dressed everybody down and said, Garnacho, sling your hook, you're out of here. Look, obviously that was behind the scenes and we really shouldn't be knowing about that sort of thing. Let's make that clear. That's where Manchester United, I think, have fallen down with the leaks and everything that's coming out. But we know that Garnacho is one of the players up for sale. So why is this significant now? So we've had the talk from Garnacho, contracted in, happy at Manchester United, wants to stay at United, was on the tour, although he didn't look like he wanted to be on the tour. So obviously when you're talking about Manchester United moving forward, we're looking at the priorities. We're looking at who is going to be sold first, who is easiest to sell for Manchester United, because United want to bring in Victor Gyökeres. They want to make that signing as quickly as possible, like they've been doing with everything else this transfer window. So Garnacho news right now is significant because he is going to play a massive part in bringing in Victor Gyökeres. There's no other way of dressing it up. It's as simple as that when you break it down. It is Garnacho being sold will make Manchester United the money they need and require with the pure profit, with PSR, to sign Victor Gyökeres. It's that simple. And when you look at the players that Manchester United have on their books that are easier to sell, look through the list. So we've got Antony. We've got Sancho, we've got Marcus Rashford, we've got Timo Malacia, we've got Rasmus Højlund, we've got Andre Onana. All of these players that we want out of the football club all carry problems. I'm going to explain in a minute what Garnacho doesn't have, which them players do, which is why it's easier for United to move Garnacho on and why this news from Romano today is so significant. The key bits from this and what Fabrizio Romano has said is that Manchester United and Garnacho, between them, have said that it is over. It isn't just United, it's Garnacho as well. So Ruben, the management of Manchester United, and Garnacho and his people have said they want to part ways. It's as simple as that. It's a freeway train, a freeway decision, and it's going to happen. So that, I think, is important from the start in all of this, because everybody might have thought after what Garnacho said on tour, you can only take what these players say on camera with a certain pinch of salt. There's nothing really in it when they talk and openly talk. The question's been posed to Ahmad. He wants Garnacho to stay. So really, with players at Manchester United, the friendships that they create and the bonds that they create within the squad, after coming out emotional after a final, can you sort of take anything away from that in thinking, right, that's just an emotional message straight after the game that he's lost, he's disappointed, he's not got the game time? Could he go back and learn from that? He has done before under Ruben Amorim. No, and no. He's done. He's out. It's simple as that. Romano also said that Bayer Leverkusen have contacted Manchester United about the situation and what it's going to take. Financially, apparently, for Bayer Leverkusen right now, it is very difficult. I'm going on that one. I'm thinking, financially for Bayer Leverkusen, this deal is difficult. I'm sorry. Am I the only one that's reading 113 million for Florian Wirtz to Liverpool is about to happen? Financially struggling. Champions of the Bundesliga last season, the finances that come with that. Second season in the Champions League, struggling with that. Sure, okay. Frimpong, sold, struggling for cash to Liverpool, struggling for finances. Shut up. I don't believe that. I don't believe how Bayer Leverkusen can be struggling for cash right now. I really don't. But look, Romano knows more. And Bayer Leverkusen might have had a lot of debts that they need to pay off, which is why they're having to sell everyone. I mean, they brought in Ten Hag to replace Xavi Alonso, for God's sake, so they must be desperate right now. But yeah, Bayer Leverkusen are interested. Obviously, that is being driven by Erik Ten Hag, former manager of Alejandro Garnacho at Manchester United. So that's happening. You've got that to get through, and obviously take into consideration, I suppose. So there's one of the clubs. Obviously, there is interest in Italy, like we already know from Napoli. So there's two. We don't need to go into any more detail about that. We spoke this morning briefly on Garnacho being over in Italy right now on vacation, on holiday. Nothing to look into that as reported this morning. But talks with Napoli have actually continued, and there is a real push from Napoli to take Garnacho to Napoli, Antonio Conte's number one target, as reported a couple of months ago. So that's all. That's all we've got on the Italian side of things. Italy, Germany are both extremely interested in Garnacho, as we know. But another thing that Romano said in his little piece on Garnacho was that there are 3 Premier League teams interested in Garnacho that have made actual contact with Manchester United over the situation and what it's going to take to make the deal happen. There is a real chance that Garnacho is going to be in the Premier League still next season, but playing for another team. In the comment section, are you bothered about that? I'm particularly not. I want Gyökeres, and if Garnacho being sold brings me Gyökeres, all I care about is Man United. I don't give a shit about any of our opposition or anyone else in the league. Let him go and play there. Hope he does well. But I'm looking at what is more important. That's number 1, which is Manchester United right now. And number 1, Ruben Amorim needs these players in. Garnacho's a big piece of this. Garnacho will leave 100%. That's from Romano. So, when you're looking at this, and the news that we already know from what Ornstein said, been given his marching orders, he's out of Manchester United. Why is this significant now? Well, for all the reasons that I just said, because Man United need other players in, but Romano doing this and specifically saying that he is leaving usually means that something else is bubbling up in the background, i.e. there could be movement going to another club pretty soon as well. This is how Romano works. He goes in stages. He makes the initial contact, so you'll see a tweet from Romano maybe in 2 weeks' time or something like that when the window reopens in June, saying, as said before on this date, i.e. the 7th of June today, Garnacho leaving, 3 Premier League clubs interested. He's covered 5 different clubs here. So when the next tweet goes out from Romano in 2 weeks' time saying, as stated 2 weeks ago, or whatever it may be, with this club, this club, this club, all in one tweet and one video, he's going to go back on himself and say, I told you so. And that's what happened. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. He knows some information, and I think this is the start of Garnacho and the talk of Garnacho leaving Manchester United kicking into overdrive now. Romano usually is the one that kickstarts everything, and then the rumour mill starts to explode. But this, I think, is significant for that reason. The biggest one of all, though, like we've just said a moment ago, is Viktor Gyökeres. And there has been substantial movement on that today in terms of Manchester United now being in pole position to make that acquisition. It is going to come through sales, obviously. And Garnacho being sold by Manchester United. And Romano's talking about this makes me feel like this is getting ever and ever closer. And Garnacho, like I said a moment ago also, is easier to sell than a Rashford, an Antony or a Jadon Sancho. Why? Because he's an academy player on a really cheap wage. That's why Garnacho is easier to sell. So if United are looking to move a player on quickly, and they're willing to drop their asking price, say what it was in January for Garnacho, there is 50 million there, which instantly buys out Viktor Gyökeres. Forget about Garnacho's wages. Yes, Gyökeres is going to be on more, but the fee for Garnacho pretty much seals the deal on its own for not just Gyökeres, but with a pure profit and everything that is involved with this deal with PSR as well. It just makes it one easy deal for Manchester United. It looks like the groundwork has been done for Viktor Gyökeres. It looks like everything has been set up, ready to go. All we're waiting for is club-to-club contact. But United, have you noticed this as well? They won't make club-to-club contact until they know the player is actually fully on board. And they know they have the finances to actually deal with this and get it over the line. We did it with Wolves. We knew the price already. We knew that Cunha wanted to come. United were never afraid of the price for Matheus Cunha. They have obviously gone back and matched what Brentford need instantly a day after the first bid went in. So we know that they're comfortable there. But both scenarios had both of them players already lined up, ready to go and wanted Manchester United. The groundwork is already started with Gyökeres. We're about to conclude Brian Mbeumo, but Gyökeres now, I feel, is getting closer, and I feel Manchester United, and what Romano has said here about Garnacho is, and by the way, this is just me thinking, I'm putting things together again, so all my own thoughts, I'm only just relaying the news to you and why I feel it's significant and why Romano has done this. But I feel like Manchester United feel like there is something in the offing and Garnacho is going to be on his way quite soon. Therefore, comfortably going into this deal with Victor Gyökeres and meeting that release clause of approximately 58 million or whatever it is for Victor Gyökeres. So I think that's why this is massive news today, this afternoon for Garnacho definitely leaving United, because I think something's happening behind the scenes. I do. And like I just said, there's no contract situation with Garnacho. There's no fee. He's 100% profits. There's nothing to pay off him on PSR. It just makes everything easier. And that's United's 3 top targets, all in the basket, all ready to go for pre-season for Ruben Amorim, which apparently is a must and a demand from Ruben Amorim, that these players that he wants, the main players that he's getting this transfer window, he wants them available for full pre-season. He wants them back early for pre-season training also, because there's no international tournaments this summer. We've talked about that before. This is where and why Manchester United are actually moving this quicker and getting things done. So that's where we're at with the Garnacho situation. I'm going to come into the chat now on this. Well, get me your thoughts in on how you see this developing and what you think is happening here as well. Just to go over, since we're talking about Fabrizio Romano and what he has said, just to reiterate what we said earlier on regarding Romano on Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres was keen to move to Manchester United before the Europa League final, before they didn't qualify. However, he is still open to assessing all options, and it's not it's not UEFA Champions League or nothing. United will have the chance to sign him, depends on sales. You see where I'm going? Romano dropping the Garnacho news on selling him, and Romano also talking about, depending on sales, United can sign Gyökeres. He's covered everything, and then we'll come back and retweet everything that he's talking about here, maybe in a week or 2 weeks' time, to say, this is what I was saying. So he already knows stuff that's going on. You can clearly see it with him. He's just not allowed to say anything just yet. And I think this is how he operates. I think this is what happens. So we've seen it before. We've seen it with all of Man United signings. This is where it all starts from. So that, I think, is why this is so interesting now, because this is the first significant update on a player leaving Manchester United. Now, we talked about Rasmus Højlund this morning also, and we've been through that, and him guaranteeing and definitely doubling down on Inter Milan wanting Rasmus Højlund. That's a definite from Romano. So you've got that to get into, but Garnacho brings United the most money this summer and gives us the room in the transfer window to move on the big signings, and that is Victor Gyökeres. It all leads to him and that signing, and that's where this is so important for Manchester United. So I've done a poll as well, just to gauge where you're at. Well over 1,000 votes on this poll already. It has only just started, so I love that. So the poll is, where will Alejandro Garnacho end up this summer? You've got 4 options. You've got Chelsea, you've got Arsenal, you've got Villa, and you've got abroad. Now, why are we putting them teams in? Going off what Romano said, there are 3 Premier League teams interested in Alejandro Garnacho. I feel like it's Champions League teams that want him, and that's where he wants to go. So obviously we know about Napoli and Leverkusen, the 2 overseas clubs. Of course, don't forget Atletico Madrid. It's gone quiet on that front for him, and a link to Simeone at the moment, but his boyhood club in Europe could have a say in all of this as well. They could come in for Garnacho. But then Chelsea, we know, have got interest already. Arsenal looking for another forward and attacker. They're obviously looking at Rodrigo. So I've kind of just thrown that one in there as a bit of a swerve ball. Villa, we know there is interest as well. They're looking at Sancho. They wanted Rashford. Garnacho has had small links to Aston Villa, but their financial situation could determine how they operate in the transfer window, and I think the percentage there on that vote tells you that. And then abroad, 68% of you right now out of the 1,100 votes that are in already are saying he's going abroad. He does, and the word is, and there is a lot of word on Garnacho, he would like to stay in the Premier League. And if the club and his representatives can get this deal done, then they want, or he wants, to be in the Premier League. The Aston Villa link, by the way, again, because there's a few more stories going around, the same story, so nothing new, just a few more people talking about Emi Martinez to Manchester United. It's kind of why I just get the feeling that there is something there with him, and the possibility, like United will go for him if he's available. In fact, in PSR terms, and what Garnacho brings to Manchester United, it means that United could possibly buy Gyökeres and Emi Martinez with this sale. That's how big Garnacho leaving Manchester United is. I think Romano knows how big it is. I think he understands how big it is, United's situation and where they're at right now, what they want to do, how quick they want to move, and how easy it is to move Garnacho on. Nobody's going to have a problem with his wages and that contract. When you're only on 50 grand a week and you have got no outstanding finance on you as a player, that is absolute gold, and is the ticket and the meal ticket out of any PSR or financial fair play situation. Look at what City have done. Look at what Chelsea have done continuously with their younger academy players. It just gives them so much room to play with. And we've seen it before with players that have not even played a Premier League game, like James Trafford to Burnley for 25 bleeding million. I mean, what is going on with that transfer? But it gives them so much room. And you're looking at Conor Gallagher last season for Chelsea as an example also. Arsenal are good on this as well. Obviously, they have done it. Smith Rowe, they've sold their academy players to give them a bit of room and flexibility. It works for every single club. And this is why them clubs are in better positions than what United are. Now, last summer, Manchester United, when we didn't have a lot of money, spent over 200 million. But if you add up the amount of pure profit that we sold on last summer with academy players, that's why we had the PSR room. Then we had Sir Jim Ratcliffe's investment this summer, which helped balance the books with PSR and give us this little bit of wiggle room financially to get deals done on the structures that suit us on an annual basis, which is why United have not had a problem signing players for the fees and the actual transfer fee. Let's not forget that it's not about how much the actual end fee is for Manchester United. It's about what's affordable and being able to bring that player in on an instalment plan that suits them, that is going to help them on the pitch, that is going to help get them back to the glory days of being in Europe again. And I say glory days for more than one reason. It's not about lifting trophies. It's about being sustainable. And the big money is in the Champions League. So if United manage to get the recruitment right and get the players in that are affordable to them on what they're operating at now, and then we get into the Champions League, that's where you become a profitable football club. Because United also doing the work behind the scenes with the younger players coming in. They're all there ready to come in and replace these players now in a few years' time. So buying your mid to late 20-year-old players, having an academy coming through that's had investment in it as well, with younger players coming in, Canabiak, Diego Leon, Obi Martin, Aiden Heaven, all of these players that Manchester United are signing up and bringing in, not expecting them to play straight away, but give them the chance to develop, they're next in line. And United might not need to spend as much in the future, but right now, obviously, while we're in the pits, we need to make sure that the recruitment is bang on and absolutely spot on. And so far, so good, as we've said. Gyökeres, he's just taken us to the glory days. Honestly, that's how big that deal is for United. And a problem child like Garnacho going the opposite way and being it's not so much scapegoat, but being the sacrifice, you could say. I don't think anyone's got a problem with that. But that's how big Garnacho is. He pays for Gyökeres. And he could, in fact, even pay for Emi Martinez when you work out the finances. That's big. Or you could also say that it is a case of, like, if you wanted to loan out Rasmus Højlund, then you could afford to sell Garnacho. It helps balance the books. They won't want to do that. They will want to work it off a player-by-player basis and work off their own individual PSR situation, i.e. what we owe on the player. Can we get back enough to cover that and maybe make a profit on it? And obviously his contract has to be terminated at the same time as well. Garnacho's is really small and dead easy. So this is I think the first significant movement. Remember when we talked last night about the players that are leaving Manchester United, or the ones that United are actively working on now and are negotiating deals for? If you think about it right now, if United do get their fee for Marcus Rashford, if they do get their fee for Alejandro Garnacho, and then you add into that the Antony and the Jadon Sancho and all of the wages and everything, let's not forget Rashford's pure profit as well. Yes, we've still got a big contract on him, which is why he's different to Garnacho, but Rashford is still profit and pure profit as well when it comes to the transfer fee. So if United get that, they get the Garnacho money, then they move on Antony and Sancho for reasonable fees. You could be talking that 9, the goalkeeper, and an 8 coming into Manchester United before this transfer window ends. Them players, if you get rid of just them alone, and there are others to go, don't get me wrong. So the 4 I'm talking about, you can add Rasmus if you want, but we're not going to make much money on him. Garnacho, Rashford, Antony, Sancho, they have to be United's priority sales. 100%. If we do sell them players all this summer, then I expect United to be able to bring in the 9, 8 and goalkeeper on top of the 2 10s as well. That will be 5 first team starting 11 players. Over half a team brought in this summer to transform Manchester United. And with keeping Mbeumo, Ahmad there at right wing back as well. You've got Aiden Heaven, you've got Leacher coming in, you've got Yoro, De Ligt and Maguire already at centre back, and Nus Mazraoui as well there. I mean, come on, like, you've got to be confident with that, surely. Like, we are going to move if we've got a team like that in place. Don't know who that number 8 is going to be, though. It's going to cost a lot of bleeding money as well, because he only wants a proven player. Now, Gonçalves is a name that has been linked with that position still. That could happen for Manchester United if we do make them sales that I've just been talking about. But honestly, right now, if you gave me Gyökeres and Emi Martinez and you said, look, the deals that we want are just not there for the other positions, I would be 100% happy with that transfer window, as long as them other players have gone out as well. That there for me, I'm talking an 8 out of 10 transfer window. That's what that is for me. The only position missing would be that 8, and that would make it a 10 out of 10. So 4 key players in United starting 11. I just feel like that would make a massive difference to this team. Right, we do need to get into the comment section. There is a ton of you in there right now. I can see some really interesting comments coming through. I'm going to try and scan back up and have a good scowl through everything that's already come through. Let's just see now. Chelsea don't even have scouts. They just steal other teams' targets. Do you know what? When we looked at that chart with the teams that are safest in PSR, so the Premier League table that the Athletic put out in terms of where every club is and what they can spend this transfer window, or what they can overspend with this transfer window with PSR, I think Man United were about 5th or something like that. Chelsea and Manchester City and Brighton were the top 3. Like, wow. Brighton, we know because they've sold big and they've got loads of room to play with. But they're run really well. Chelsea, again, I said it, like what they do and how they haven't conned the system. They've just used the loopholes. And if Man United had the opportunity to do what Chelsea have done, I'd have been telling them to go all in on it. Go all in on it. And, use what you've got and try and beat it. Look, the rules are there, and if there's a way around it or a way to sort of twist it or bend it a little bit to make sure that you get what you need, and if you can get away with it, look, it's their fault for not making the rules tight off and how useless PSR has been. But Chelsea and Manchester City have completely obliterated any authority that the Premier League have in installing PSR into the Premier League. It's an absolute joke. It really is. And Chelsea selling off hotels and women's teams and everything just to actually balance their books, but selling off their academy players at the same time to help with PSR. Any club could have done this, but obviously Chelsea are in they're in a lucrative area when it came to the hotel. Not every hotel is going to be worth the same amount as one slap bang in the middle of Chelsea. and we all know what we're talking about there. Their higher rolling lifestyle that is Chelsea in and around the centre of London. A hotel there is going to be worth a fortune compared to one in, no disrespect, at Sunderland or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Chelsea's women, well known. Obviously, they've got a big investment now. Serena Williams fell off or something is invested into Chelsea's women team now. Like, what the frick is going on with that? I don't get it, but hey, look, they've found a way around it, and they have got loads of room. So expect Chelsea to go big, which is why they're looking at 80 million Ekitike from Frankfurt right now, as well as Liam Delap, as well as everything else that is going on. They're about to go well over 100 million spent in the first couple of weeks with their deals. Likewise, United, though, which again goes to show you how well United have actually done off the back of performing absolutely shockingly throughout the last season and finishing where we did. And I'm still seeing people moan and bitch, opposition fans talking about how Man United are actually getting all of this business done. How are they doing it? How are they getting away with it with financial fair play and PSR? Read, you muppets. Just read the info. It'll tell you exactly what you need to know. And then you can stop bitching about it. But yes, Modern Samurai, you got me going on one there. But it's an interesting one. It really is when it comes to Manchester United's finances, looking at everybody else. We should be, with our revenues, miles ahead of everybody. But the fact that Manchester United were able to save £40 million on the expenditure, so on outgoings at this football club, they managed to save approximately 40 million quid in expenses. That tells you that the cost cutting has really hit home and is bearing fruit now at United. And we're in the situation where we're in. We read it, we know about it. Opposition fans don't understand it clearly. Chelsea are so frustrating. Thank God they saved us from Liam Delap. Hopefully he doesn't have a good season now on that one. We need someone to coach these lads. Which lads are we on about, Modern? What a fan base watching the first team youth being sold and applauding. No, this is what everybody does. So when Chelsea sell Conor Gallagher, who was their best midfielder last season, where was you then, Scott? Where was you when Manchester City sold James Trafford, when they know they're going to need a goalkeeper 2 seasons down the line, but bringing Ortega? They just abuse the system. You just got to get used to it. Don't come having a go at Manchester United fans for applauding the fact that we're selling one of our players. This is a man now, by the way, who's turned 20, that has been given his opportunity and thrown it right back because he didn't want to work hard enough for a new manager. There are egos and there are problems in academies as well as first teams. So, sorry, Scott, completely disagree with what your comment is there, mate. Chelsea give out 9-year deals. That's how they get to their players. Yes, and then they have to really sell. The big commitment from Chelsea is actually staying at the top level, i.e. competing in the Champions League consistently to balance that as well. That's not easy, but that's why this was so big this season for them getting in the Champions League. And them actually being in the Club World Cup as well, scraping into that has really given them a financial boost. Have you moved on after we missed out on 100 million plus for Bruno Fernandes? The renewal of the team would have been so much easier if the sale had been completed. Look, he's contracted to Manchester United. He didn't want to leave. The club left it to him to decide, and we're with Bruno Fernandes. And I think the team will be better with him next season. I do. I think with the players that we're bringing in, you only have to watch Bruno play for bleeding Portugal and look how good he is in that team full of quality players who all know what they're doing. You try and replicate that in a Manchester United side, you're going to get a better Bruno even more. And he's all right now. So Ghana, 60 million, any Prem team and 50 million to a team abroad, says Oculus. Add some Premier League tax. I see where you're going with that. I don't discount the fact that the sum with achievable add-ons would have been around 120 million. Look, he's gone. We need to stop worrying about Bruno Fernandes' money. We've finished. We've had to move on from that. And we are now. He's in our team. And like I said, I think we will be a better team. Nacho is a good direct player that needs some strong players around him in order to develop properly. I think his ego will probably end up limiting his potential. Low, time to sell now, says A with that one. John says, before people criticise Ghana, go to Amorim's Wikipedia page and scan down to Amorim's career at Benfica and how he slagged off his manager when he was 26 and was loaned out and came back with a second chance. Look, times change. People obviously change. But the difference with what you're saying there is Ruben Amorim wasn't a manager back then, and players get given the world. You just said it yourself in the same comment there, John. He got given a second chance. The grass might not be greener on the other side for Garnacho, but he's a player played under a manager who's under immense pressure at Manchester United. And if he isn't going to work for him right now, the manager is going to get somebody else that will. And if he doesn't like it, he has to understand where he is. And players will all say things. Players will all come back with comments and things like that. I'm sure Garnacho has. I'm sure Marcus Rashford has. But what you've got to do as well is look at their performances on the pitch. Does Wikipedia tell you exactly how Ruben Amorim was playing at that time and why he kicked off? Garnacho and Rashford have not produced the goods and haven't been good enough. So you've got that to back up a decision in selling him on. Otherwise, how the hell will we actually manage to actually get a fee for Garnacho? So, I mean, there is quality there. He's just not fitting into this side right now. And obviously, it's easier to sell a player when he's bitching and moaning behind the scenes as well. That is something that you cannot have at a football club. And, yeah, Ruben will know this. I hope he does learn from his player mistakes. He said it himself, though, when he first walked in. He knows all the tricks. He knows all of the situations. He knows all of what can happen with a player at a big club. And he's now bringing that into his management. He's probably seen things like what you said that were picked up from when he was a player. And he realises now. Garnacho was on his second chance. They had an argument when Amorim first arrived. Yes, Gravemind, they did. And he was dropped out of the Manchester Derby squad alongside Marcus Rashford. A lot of fans do forget about that with Garnacho in terms of what happened early doors as well. It's all about the now. There was obviously misdemeanours before. And if you are dropped out of the squad to play in the Manchester Derby, the biggest game of the season, then you obviously have caused issues behind the scenes. And he's done it again. So, yeah, second strike for Ghana. You could probably bring on a few more strikes while he was with Ten Hag as well, with some of the stuff that he did on social media. And, yeah, I think United are better off without him. Garnacho is a great player, and he will succeed elsewhere. He will. I'm 100% certain he will. Okay. Let's get into some other news as well. Then I'll get back into the comments section, everyone. So please keep them coming in. We have a new poll running right now. Will United be able to get 50 million for Garnacho? Creeping up to over 700 votes already on that new poll. 72% of you have said yes. Is that where we're at with Garnacho and his price? 50 million? Are we all agreed on that? Or does anybody in the chat want to drop in there what they think he would be worth? Is he worth more than 50 million is the question we're asking right now. Mbeumo to Manchester United, as we reported this morning, is moving ever closer. I think everybody knows this already. We've had an update from Graham Bailey, who thinks early next week is when this deal will be concluded. That doesn't mean that we're not going to get the here we go, and I'm primed and I'm ready to go with this. Bryan Mbeumo will be an outstanding player for Manchester United, and I cannot wait for this announcement to come. And just to know that he is in at the club, it just gives me all of that confidence that I was talking about on the morning show. But the announcement as it is at the moment, Graham Bailey is the only one who's really significantly come out and said anything on Bryan Mbeumo, Manchester United's hunt for him. And that is that they expect this deal to go through by early next week. We have already said that obviously the window shuts on Tuesday, and United would like to have this concluded and wrapped up before that transfer window closes. So it closes pretty much just as the international break is coming to an end and their international friendlies come to an end. Because then players come back, obviously go on holiday or go to their Club World Cup squads to compete over in the States in that competition. So, yeah, Tuesday is the cut-off. This is why I'm thinking we might get it either tonight or tomorrow. As some form of here we go, at least that this deal is done. Pretty much like it was with Cunha. Just getting a full announcement will come after that. But the here we go is the one that we know is concrete. And we know that he's actually telling us that this deal is finished and he's over the line. I think that's what we've got to look at and look for in particular. So that's where we're at with that one right now. Again, like everything and all the talk regarding Manchester United's hunt for a striker, they need a proven goal-scoring striker. Even Rich Fay has come out and said this now on X about Manchester United's hunt. Nobody wants to overly commit for Victor Gyökeres yet. And this is why I said it's important and what Romano said about Garnacho today. With him saying that Garnacho now is definitely leaving Manchester United, like I said, that's bubbling things up. And we are going to be, I think we're going to see movement with Garnacho pretty soon. It could even be this month. You don't know. Depends how quickly they want Gyökeres. And if, like we've said before, Victor Gyökeres is happy to wait for Manchester United and Ruben Amorim to get everything in order and move to us, then there's no drama for United. They may just get the deal done and then come July, in comes Victor Gyökeres. It's another player over the line. Another one who will be registered, ready for pre-season on the 19th. Obviously, the players are back about a week before we play our first game, I think. So the players are back early. I think it's the first week of July. United's first pre-season game is against Leeds United on the 19th of July. That's our fixtures. England team has just been announced, and yes, you guessed it, there isn't even a Man United player in the squad, so no need to look out for any Manchester any Man United players in this game against Andorra. Is anybody interested in it? Honestly, right now England will win by about 5 or 6 and move on. That's all it'll be. Really don't give a toss about this game, and I'm just really happy that this summer, of all the summers, the important one that it is, hasn't got any international interference, because it does get in the bleeding way, doesn't it? My God, it does. By the way, the England game tonight are just happening kicking off in about 20 minutes' time, actually. A quick one from our matchday sponsors, yet again, Match Bingo, everybody. They are running a special for the England game. So if you want to get involved in Match Bingo, scan that QR code on the screen right there. It's just like playing bingo in a football game. You got 15 match events when you buy your card, VAR, offside, a goal. If you get 5 in a row, you get the win. You get another 5 in a row, you get another win. If you get all 15, you hit the jackpot, which is upwards of 300 quid for this game. So get involved on that there. You have to be 18 plus and a UK resident to enter. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description with Match Bingo on it. It's one of the top links there on the description bar. Download the app. Register as a player, deposit £5, and you will get, as a new customer, an extra £10 put on top by Match Bingo. Get involved with that now. It's only £2 a card. Obviously, spend to your means. Don't overspend. Be gamble aware, everybody, and just enjoy it. They pick the card for you. The match events are already on there. You just get to the England game, buy your card, £2, dead easy, and be part of the Forever United TV Match Bingo crowd that has already won hundreds over the last couple of months. Some big winners here on the channel already. So yeah, that's going on. It's probably the only good thing about the England game, to be honest. You might actually be able to win money off it. So yeah, courtesy of Forever United TV and Match Bingo, get involved in that. There's not much else to do on a Saturday afternoon, is there? You might as well go down to the pub and watch the game and then play it all along with that. That might work. We'll see. Modern Samurai in the chat has just dropped the link there as well. I'll pin that to the top for you. Thank you, mate. 1,000 votes in on the poll. Will United get 50 million for Garnacho? 72% of you have said yes, we will get 50 million for Garnacho. Hopefully, that will be the fee. Even if we get less, we're still going to be able to afford Victor Gyökeres, but you want to gain as much as you possibly can. That will be a substantial sale for Manchester United. I think I'm right thinking the biggest since Lukaku for United. The biggest amount of profit we will make since Ronaldo, definitely, for Manchester United. I think the biggest since Lukaku, the biggest sale has been Scott McTominay, hasn't it, for about 30 million. That's mental, isn't it? It really is. But yeah, just to go over everything we've been talking about already, Manchester United and Garnacho, alongside Ruben Amorim, are all as one. He wants out and will be sold. Romano has broke this news this afternoon. We already knew it, but the significance of it is simply because Manchester United need money in for Victor Gyökeres, who is going to wait for United. And Garnacho guarantees us to have the money in the kitty to buy Victor Gyökeres. That's why I think Romano's pushing this, because he's also said that United today need to make sales to bring in Victor Gyökeres. Then this afternoon, Garnacho is definitely being sold by United, with 3 Premier League clubs interested, along with other clubs from Germany and Italy, namely Napoli and Bayer Leverkusen. Old Baldy's best Eric is doing his best to try and rid us of the headaches for Ruben Amorim. Good old Eric. I knew he'd come back and help us out somehow. And Brian and Mbeumo, we're just waiting for the announcements. By all accounts, everything is agreed. Everything is in place. We're just waiting for that one journal. And when it goes quiet on everyone's front, it usually means someone's about to drop the bomb. And I think we will get the Mbeumo bomber tonight or tomorrow. I don't know yet. I've not made my mind up which one, but I'm pretty convinced it's going to be this weekend. Because like we said, the transfer window shuts on Tuesday and then reopens again on the 16th of June. So United want to get this one wrapped up before that initial window closes, and then obviously we can start planning ahead for the next instalments of the transfer window. By the way, I don't think the transfer window is officially going to close. We're still going to get all of the announcements. We're going to get all of the news and the rumours coming in between the 10th and the 16th of June. It's not like you're not allowed to talk to anybody in that time. There will be just no announcements. So basically, the window opens again on the 16th. Then the fixtures, I think, are announced on the 18th. And then everybody starts to really kick into gear and looking into the new season, I feel. And I think that's when we're going to get the real sort of, like, it's back. I mean, I'm missing it right now. Like, honestly, like, watching international football in the summer is destroying you. It's destroying me. Absolutely destroying me. I cannot stand it anymore. I'd rather watch other internationals than watching England. It just bores the living shit out of me watching them. I just cannot get into it the way that I should do as an England fan. But it's just what it does. Like international football. All I'm bothered about and all I'm thinking about is how United are fixing themselves up and how we start next season. That's all I can think about right now and all I care about, to be honest. And we'll see how that goes. £50 million is too less. An Arsenal replacement will not be Kepa, who agrees to join Arsenal. I've no idea, Andy, what you're talking about there. I've heard about the rumours of Kepa, but we've never really been in for him, so it doesn't matter for us. I don't think Martinez would go back to Arsenal anyway. So I think United are the ones that are really pushing the Emi Martinez story along. I think they're definitely going to be... I think if he does move, they're going to be the ones that we're going to be the ones that take him. I do. I think they are. I don't like when clubs know a player is leaving. I wish it was kept private. Kills our leverage. 20 legend, agreed. But this is United, and everybody knows what happens when United are in for a player. Everybody knows that the rumours, the leaks, everything that comes out around it is. It's a pile-on, isn't it? That's what it is. United news, everyone's in on it. Literally, when the Mbeumo news broke, I mean, how many journalists in a row was it? It went down the full food chain, didn't it? From Ornstein and Romano, into Ben Jacobs, into Laurie Whitwell and everybody else. And it's everybody knows everything that's going on with Man United. I don't think they're ever going to be able to stop them leaks coming out. Let's see what else we've got here in the comments section. This is your chance, everybody. Get into the comments and let me know what you're thinking. Let's just see. Slippy G is not the greatest ever England player. Who said that? God, are we actually talking about England? Emi Martinez is on the decline. Disagree with that one as well. He's 20 times the goalkeeper that Andre Onana is right now. And he's a leader. And he's got that shit housery that we desperately need. By the way, everyone, please give the video a like. Make sure that you are up to date, you're subscribed, and you've got the bell notification on. Any news like this or any little tiny detail of news coming out with United, I've got you covered. So make sure that you know when them videos are coming out, because you know that the news will be coming with it. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification button as well. Our target is 90,000 subscribers before the season starts. And we're not a million miles away. We're creeping up to the 83k mark already. Last week we got to 80k. We've had an absolutely mega week, and everybody's jumping on to the channel's positivity, like we said this morning, and I love it. More of them coming in, everybody. Keep them comments flying, and let me know your thoughts on everything that we're talking about. I'm going to wrap things up there. That is you fully up to date on everything going on. Like I said, if there is more news to talk about later, I will bring it to you. Slightly earlier show today. The football is on. I know people are probably going to be out. Maybe it's the only way you can enjoy England is by going to the pub and having a pint. Or whatever you're doing this afternoon. Didn't want to get in the way of any of that. So we've done the news early. But again, if anything does drop, then we'll be on it later on as well. It never stops, no matter what time it is. Chris Thomas, welcome to the Members Club, my friend. Love that. And Sergeant Ted with a super chat right at the end. What about Rashford, Anthony, Højlund, and Anna? Do you think will go? All of them, I think, will go. Rashford's definitely going. Anthony will go. Højlund, that's the only one I'm in between with. Romano has said that Inter Milan want Rasmus Højlund, and he's also said that it's open with Andre Onana as well for leaving this summer. So all of them are possible, but I think, yeah, if I had to guess, I think all of them will go. Richard, welcome to the Members Club. That was gifted by Tom. If you do get gifted a membership while in the Forever United TV live chat, everybody, please make sure that you do pop just a simple thank you into the chat. It's free of charge to you, so you might as well please give thanks to them. Like I said before, this United top is one of the special designs on OK jerseys. Now the link to OK jerseys is in my description below, everybody. I've sported 3 different tops now. One retro training, one retro shirt which I had on this morning, and this one is like a mock-up, a new version put together. So they do these as well as the retros and the real kits as well on there. So just get on and have a look is all I'll say. Again, really cheap. If you want something like this, which is made just with a different colour and pattern in a few different Man United shirt designs, it just looks good, it's different, and this is why I love OK Jersey. So hit that link and go and have a look. 15 quid, by the way, like with delivery. Seriously, you cannot beat that. And that's with my link. So hit that link and go fill your boots, everybody. I've just seen Declan asking about that in the chat. That is our special one. Okay. Right, that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us slightly earlier. Really do appreciate your time. I will be back with anything else that drops, like I said, later on. Give the video a like. That'll take us over 600 live likes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, everyone. And I'll see you all. Well, I don't know when I'll see you, but it'll be quite soon, because I've got a feeling there's going to be news dropping at any minute with United. Cheers, everyone. Thank you, mods, again in the chat.